Alright, this video is just for anyone swapping out your OE intake for another OE intake on the LS trucks. I searched and tried to find some info on it, but I didn't find much. I got the cheap one. It was like 130 bucks, and it's just like the Dorman. It comes with all the seals, all of the O-rings for the injectors, all the bolts. Comes with more than I thought it would for being that cheap. But there are some differences, and that's what I wanted to go over. Where your map sensor would be up here on the old one. Let's grab the old one. Right there. See how it snaps in? Well, this one doesn't do that. It doesn't even have the location for it. There's a hole here, which that's where I put it, and it bolts in. Just one bolt on the side now. So use the same seal and just use one of the bolts and bolt it in. Right here, same thing. It's a little different. Same spot, but it's a little different. And your PVC line, you'll take off the little piece of hose that connects it to the intake, because there is a hose on the intake, so it'll go there. That actually gets rid of a leaky spot. These things, they get old and crack and leak, and you can't see it, but it's happening. Another thing, if you get one of these, is to these screws holding it together, check them. I checked mine. I saw the gap right here, and so I checked it, and it was just stripped out. So I had to take it out and put a bigger wood screw in, and that tightened it right up. So check them and make sure that they're good. Don't over tighten them, they will strip out. These are just plastic threads. They don't have the inserts in all the holes like the other one does. Another thing that's different is the bolts that hold it down. On the stock one, we had these crush sleeves with a seal in it. We don't have that on this. These are just sealless. Holes are smaller, and it comes with new bolts, and that's all it is. Just a new bolt goes in there, and that's it. So when you're putting it on, be careful torquing it down, because you can crack this sucker and then you'll be out an intake. So torque it down correctly or you'll be in trouble. So this right here comes with a seal, so that's good. That's the same. A lot of it came, like, our intake had a lot of parts that were just capped off that you can break off and get a vacuum line from. Like right here, there's just spots, you know, that you can get vacuum lines from, or vacuum fittings into, or that you can make for yourself. This one actually has them, and they're just all capped off. You go in here, you got one here, this one here that's actually been used, this one here. So it's got a bunch, you know, if you need to run anything that requires a vacuum. But that's really all I want to do, because I couldn't find anything like this on there. So the sides, they don't have anything bolting the sides of it together, just the front and back. So when you bolt it down, that actually seals the sides of it. I've already got this one ready to go on, got all my old stuff on it. So that's really all I wanted to touch base on. It's cheap as hell. It's worth it, because ours, they warp and they start leaking. I've changed the gasket on mine a couple years ago, and then it's leaking again. So just 130 bucks. I figure I'll just change the whole thing out and get rid of that problem for another 100,000 hopefully, or more. So other than that, it's all the same.